Hi everybody, welcome to your August part 2 video scope on the full moon in Aquarius, and that will perfect on August 19th. This is a very dynamic full moon because number one, it is in Aquarius, the sign of technology, innovation, the future, disruption, change, freedom, and breakthroughs. It is opposing Mercury retrograde in Leo. So we're reviewing and seeing things that we're making time to see, seeing things that we hadn't seen before, processing information that we hadn't had time to process before. And that is the value of Mercury retrogrades. This full moon at 27 degrees of Aquarius is also squaring Uranus, the ruler of the sign Aquarius. And so we can, in Taurus, so we can expect some disruptions, some information perhaps about Earth changes, earthquakes, perhaps the financial system, digital currency. There's a lot of noise out there, and it's going to continue to be very noisy, especially here in the US through this election cycle. A lot of distractions as well. But this full moon, which is bringing emotional awareness potentially, developments, culminations tied to your future, tied to seeing things, tied to friendships, tied to collective energy, social media energy. This full moon at 27 degrees of Aquarius is also sextiling the galactic center at 27 degrees of Sagittarius, which is extremely helpful. As of May of this year, the Earth is now fully being bathed in this galactic energy. So for the next 10,000 years, we will be receiving the frequency, the insights, the awakening, and the awareness of this galactic energy. And this will take shape in many, many different forms. We've emerged from the Kali Yuga, and 10,000 years from now, we'll descend back down. But by those who measure such things, they're suggesting that we're at the M9 point, which positions us in the galactic energy to now be receiving fully this galactic center energy, which is all tied to the awakening. You can't put the genie back in the bottle. People are going to become more and more aware of their history, of their potential, of who they really are in the galactic community. There will be a lot of development, certainly, with technology, UFOs, galactic information. All of this is very much a part of our future going forward, and especially as Pluto re-enters Aquarius in mid-November. But with this is, of course, all of the distortion energy that accompanies that from, what we like to call the powers that were. And, this energy is also changing Earth herself, the plants, the jet stream, the flow of the water cycles. Combined with that, and perhaps some intentional uses on changing some of these, it's hard to piece apart what's naturally occurring versus what may be manufactured occurring. But certainly we are seeing massive physical changes around us and massive physical changes within us. This is part of this upgrading of our DNA, of turning on these strands that have been asleep for essentially, the past 10,000 years. So it's a very dynamic full moon, this, and to hold some space and to see what may come streaming in the way of your senses, your intuition, your knowing, your insights. And although we are awash in this, we are moving through what's called the shell of the Milky Way galaxy, and not all of the planets are in full receptivity of this galactic energy yet. It's going to take probably a couple more years for all of the outer planets to be in the same position that the Earth is now in. And that makes sense because this is speaking to the outer planets are all about societal norms, societal structures. So it's going to take some time. And this blends very nicely with what my guides keep communicating, that we're looking at 2026, 2027 before we're seeing discernible shifts and changes in a way that the left brain can make sense of, if you will. They call it the particle matrix, but this is certainly tied into the shifting of the energy, the crystalline forms, etc., and how there will be some time before all of the planets in our Milky Way, in our galaxy, are fully receiving this galactic center energy. So I hope that's helpful for you to kind of tuck away. Things have to catch up. We have form and consciousness, and there's a lag between how that takes shape in the particle matrix in a way that is visible and discernible to us. So that is part of the shift that is occurring as well. On the 22nd, the sun leaves Leo and heads into Virgo, going much more deeply into the discernible, discerning health themes, which we're already getting a buzz about out there on the planet, getting organized, making good, practical decisions. Mercury is going to station direct on the 28th at 21 degrees of Leo, and will head back into Virgo in mid-September, just before the partial lunar eclipse in Pisces. This is a new set of eclipses. We're getting the nudge, we're getting the call to strengthen these areas of our lives along the Virgo and Pisces axis that will take us through February of 2027. So see what comes in for you in the way of organizing and health themes, because this will continue to be a theme for us collectively into the next year and a half going forward. I am conducting a series of sessions beginning in mid-October. It's intended to be a 360-degree view of, if you will, to help with this awakening process. We have fallen into a forgetting, and this will be addressing your guides, past lives, ancestral lines, your birth mapping for this life, what your soul set up to experience, and the themes that you wanted to engage with here on Earth School for your evolution and growth. So I encourage you to take a look at that. We're going to be meeting 4 consecutive weekends and going into these areas. It's very supportive, very loving, highly connected information, if that sounds of interest to you. And then on the 29th of August, we are seeing Venus head into her home sign of Libra, where she'll be transiting through September 22nd. She's making a very beautiful trine to Pluto as she's making her ingress. So we're going to see Virgo can be a bit hypercritical, even a bit compulsive. So be aware of these tendencies, especially as we're dealing with the Mercury retrograde that will revisit the Virgonian energy, but the sun, our consciousness, and then Venus, our value and our ability to love and appreciate are going to be going into the sign of Virgo for more discernment, health-conscious behavior, activities. And the guides in the live stream on Patreon this month were really emphasizing committing to the shifting of your negative narratives, overly critical mind, that this is so important for us collectively now to break those patterns that were programmed, often in those lower chakras, when we were just little babies and little kids. So just making little shifts, interrupting the patterns, infusing it with everything is working out well for me. I am grateful for the sunshine today. I am grateful for my car operating well. I'm grateful for my friends. That makes a huge shift in vibration and frequency, because this is the technology and the skill sets that we're going to be building going forward into the decades and years ahead. So take care, everybody, and be well.